2,000 miles with no Earth curvature obstruction. When this was first done, they said, oh, it bounced off the ionosphere. That's why it went past the curvature of the Earth. They claim that nothing over 40 megahertz can go through the ionosphere. World record radio propagation shows that megahertz frequencies up to 106 megahertz can go over 2,700 miles. That should be blocked by the curvature of the Earth around 200 miles. Can't say the ionosphere because it's too high of a frequency, debunks the globe.
I very specifically laid out that argument. I want to say it again because it seems like, according to the official globe model, this is what happened. Marconi sent radio transmissions out. Okay? He said, I'm going to send these radio transmissions out over 2,000 miles across the Atlantic. All of his detractors, the naysayers, said, you're not going to be able to do that. What are you talking about? The curve of the Earth is going to block your radio waves like 200 miles away, not even. Why do you think you're going to be able to send 2,000 miles? That's going to get blocked at 200 miles. I said, I'm going to try it anyway. So he shoots the radio transmission, and it reaches its target the first time. Very first time, successfully. Like, whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. What's going on? This shouldn't happen on a globe. The Earth's surface should be curving. Thus, when we shoot the radio waves out horizontally, they should go towards space because the Earth's dropping down beneath the transmissions that are going out straight. So it should keep going up effectively towards space. The bottom parts of the transmission should, of course, be physically blocked by the curve of the Earth. So they shouldn't be able to receive them. So they had to come up with a way to explain that. Because it makes sense if the Earth's a plane, you just shoot them out horizontally. If there's not a storm, or if there's not some type of topographical obstruction like over the ocean, then you would be able to receive the transmissions. But on a globe, you should not be able to. They should be going to space. They should be blocked by the curve of the Earth. So they came up with something called the ionosphere. They did not do a test. They did not go discover the ionosphere. They did not go up there and see that there is a layer up there that reflects radio waves. They had to come up with a way to explain the fact that they went too far. So what did they do? They said, oh, what must be happening is as the radio waves go up towards space, they bounce back down at some point. They must reflect back down, effectively making an upside down V. Right? It must bounce back down. That's how we received it on the globe. So there's something called the ionosphere, and that's the name they later agreed upon. And Oliver Heaviside is one of the main people who came up with this. Oliver Heaviside was a genius with like electrical field theory. And so it's known that the frequency of radio transmissions can be reflected by ionization at certain frequencies. You can do this in the lab. So we know that ionization can reflect radio waves. We need it to reflect back down somehow. There's no other way it could work on this globe Earth, a spherical Earth. So the redundancy, sphericity of the globe assumption required them come up with an explanation that had the radio waves reflect back down. So they used the ionization, a real phenomena. Okay, the only problem is that ionization can reflect radio transmissions, but only up to a certain frequency. Once you increase the frequency high enough, specifically over 40 megahertz, it penetrates right through the ionization. It goes right through it. So up to 40 megahertz, it goes down. Well, that works for Marconi. Okay, boom, write it off. Since then, amateur world records have shown that radio transmissions all the way up to 107 megahertz. Again, nothing over 40, and scientifically be reflected by the ionization, scientifically, as in it can be tested in a lab. Okay, 106, 107 megahertz frequency radio transmissions have been sent over the Earth over 2,700 miles. Happens all the time, 80, 90, 100, 110, just under. Can be sent 1,000, 1,500, 1,700, 2,300, 2,500, 2,700 miles over the curve of the Earth with these little towers, or an amateur that just has a couple feet or a little bit of elevation. It shouldn't go further than like a couple hundred miles. It can go up to 2,700 miles. That debunks the globe claim because you can't invoke the ionosphere as your get out of jail card because that only works up to 40 megahertz. Now, I've made this specific argument numerous times. No one's ever rebutted it. Never. They'll say stuff like, oh, are you a ham radio operator? Credentials fallacy. What about, oh, you think you're smarter than all the people that work with radio for a profession? Appeal to authority fallacy. They can't rebut it. It refutes the globe. And we're going to be doing this test here soon over the Gulf, about 350 miles, right into the dead zone or the skip zone that the globe predicts. And if the person stands there, receives a transmission, it's impossible on the globe. It should be a dead zone, a skip zone there. We can also send higher transmissions further over the ocean and show that, again, it doesn't work on the globe.